Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Ryan here, and today I wanted to make a short video on grief, dealing with death. Someone where I work, family member passed, and she was really young, and it's sort of weird in the sense that I had my mom pass, years ago when I was younger. And she was roughly the same age, around 40 or about, and I don't know why you'd be interested in watching this video. I'm going to assume that maybe you're trying to figure it out, or maybe you're thinking about death or whatever. But I kind of want to make this video because it's on my mind. Because one of the things about loss is that it's pretty hard to comprehend. When a person in your life that's really important, they're just not there anymore, right? What's interesting is, like, I have lots of people that were in my life when I was younger, right? And friends even, right? That I haven't talked to in years, but they haven't died. In a sense, I've lost them, right? But if I were to ever hear of them dying or passing, young especially, it would kind of hit me, right? It's kind of one of those things you just don't really know until it actually happens to you. And for someone that is like me, who had a pretty tragic loss, losing my mother young, it is quite I feel like I have something to say about it, right? Because it's not a very unique experience, but I would have to say that losing your mother young can be losing your mother young in a unexplained murder, really, a homicide, which is what happened to me, is sort of it's sort of just weird, right? And it's overwhelming. And the human mind is like, it's a story, it's a meaning making machine, right? We're all trying to make meaning, right? Being rich, writing a best-selling novel, those are some things that are like kind of floating in my life because they are things that I've always wanted to do. They mean something to me, but they're not really that important when you compare them to the people in your life, right? Your mother, maybe your father, maybe your sister, brother, or just anyone that you're close to, right? Because if you were to really boil everything down to what's most important in life, it really is the relationships. It took me a really long time to realize this, and it still kind of is hard to grasp. So when you have a relationship, which you kind of take for granted sometimes, you kind of do actually, we all do, and then they're gone one day, it's a sucker punch, right? It's incomprehensible, and because of how difficult it is to comprehend loss, right? You just don't know it's overwhelming. And if you're close to the people or the person, it hurts, right? It's overwhelming. It makes you want to cry. If you put yourself in that position, you can kind of feel that. But me knowing what it's like to lose someone important, I don't know how to say this, but I don't know how to interact even with those people, because I remember how overwhelming it is, right? Now it's just something that happened in my life, and it's not that big of a deal, right? In the sense that, there's still, the thing is that there's scars still. There's still stuff that's like messing with me, right? But if there's one thing for sure I can tell you, is that when you have a death in your life, someone important leaves you, your whole outlook on life just dramatically changes. It is pretty crazy how much it changes. And few things really kind of rock your world when you lose someone close. From a combination, like for me, I would have to describe my experience as, or the repercussions of losing someone young is numbing. Like, I learned how to numb my feelings and be cold in a way. It's kind of a bad way to say it. I won't say I'm that cold, but that's how I view myself, I guess. And it's not a good thing or can be. Everything has its strengths and weaknesses. Anyways, if you are going through this, or you're having to deal with death or some unexplained loss or something, that's the thing. You're looking for meaning, you know, and you might have trouble finding meaning. Actually, you're trying to do a bunch of things at once. You're trying to find meaning and you can't find it, right? Or you're finding meaning and it's not acceptable. That's one. Brain explosion. Number two, you're dealing with the emotions of it all. Like it's dealing with the reality, right? Because if you have someone close to you passes, they've died, but in your head they're not dead. It's sort of like, you know, have you ever heard of people who like amputated arms and legs and they get like phantom pain, right? As if they have the arm or the leg after it's been amputated years later. Same idea, right? They still live in your mind, right? The person, your experiences with them. You know, I still remember my mom and the things that she did and what she meant to me. I mean, at 50, it's kind of hard because she died when I was 15. So it's kind of like, you know, and I'm 37 now. This is like over 20 years later. So it's sort of hard to understand for me what actually happened, right? You know, losing your parents at an older age is a lot different than losing your parents at a younger age. Anyways, I hope you're doing well. If you got to the end of the video, you know, leave a comment, or if leave a thumbs up, and you have a good one. Okay, take care.